Have you ever looked in the mirror and felt a shock when you noticed a double chin appearing, even though you haven't gained weight? What's even more frightening is this: it's not fat. It's the everyday exercise habits that are silently destroying your jawline. Most people believe that the more they exercise, the sharper their chin will become, but the truth is exactly the opposite. I've seen many people, especially those over 40, whose double chin actually got worse the more they exercised. Their face became heavier, their jawline blurred, and they looked noticeably older in just a few months. Why? Because they were repeating to harmless-looking exercises that slowly kill your jawline. If you keep following what's trending online, there's a high chance that within a year, your double chin will become permanent. In this video, I'll reveal exactly which exercises they are, why they backfire, and how to restore your jawline safely and naturally. Stay until the end. You'll discover why doing less the right way beats doing more the wrong way every time. Have you ever stood before a mirror, turning your head just so, trying to find that perfect angle that hides what you wish wasn't there? That persistent shadow beneath your chin, blurring the crisp line you dream of? Perhaps you've scrolled through countless videos, promising miraculous transformations with a few simple stretches or the right chewing technique. You've probably felt that familiar pang of frustration, the quiet disappointment when, despite your efforts, the reflection remains stubbornly unchanged. That was Alex's reality for years. A bright, driven young man, Alex excelled in his career, was a loyal friend, and always approached life with a determined spirit. Yet, a persistent insecurity gnawed at him, his double chin. It wasn't about vanity, not really. It was about feeling like his outward appearance didn't quite match the vibrant, confident person he felt himself to be on the inside. He wanted a defined jawline, a clearer profile, not for anyone else, but for himself. Alex had tried everything. He diligently followed online gurus who swore by face yoga, contouring his face into various expressions, hoping to tone away the extra flesh. He'd invested in special chewing gum, convinced that strengthening his jaw muscles would magically melt the fat away. He even spent weeks attempting to master mewing, a technique promising to reshape his entire facial structure through tongue posture. Each attempt was met with the same disheartening result: nothing. The double chin remained, a constant, unwelcome companion in every photo, every video call. He was left feeling not just frustrated, but confused. Why did these seemingly logical solutions fail so spectacularly? Was he doing something wrong? Or was the entire premise flawed? One evening, scrolling through a different kind of content, Alex stumbled upon an article that didn't promise quick fixes, but offered something far more valuable: understanding. It was a deep dive into the actual science behind facial aesthetics, and it began by dismantling the very myths he'd been chasing. He learned that the reason face yoga, chewing gum, and even mewing weren't effective in burning facial fat wasn't due to his lack of effort, but simply because facial muscles are incredibly small. Unlike larger muscle groups in your body, they simply aren't capable of creating significant calorie expenditure. You could stretch and chew all day, but the energy burn would be negligible, far too little to make a dent in any fat deposits. It was a revelation. His frustration wasn't a personal failing. It was a misunderstanding of basic physiology. But if these popular methods were a dead end, what was the real story? The article explained that a double chin, medically known as submental fullness, isn't just about excess fat. In fact, it's a complex interplay of three main causes, often working in concert. The first, and perhaps most surprising to Alex, was genetics. He read that a staggering 40% of people with a normal, healthy weight still contend with a double chin simply because it's in their DNA. It was a light bulb moment. His family had a tendency for a softer jawline, and suddenly, it made sense. This wasn't something he had earned through poor choices. It was simply part of his genetic blueprint. This realization, while initially daunting, was also incredibly freeing. It wasn't his fault. The second culprit was forward head posture. Alex pictured himself at his desk, head craned forward, shoulders rounded, staring at his computer screen for hours. The article explained that this common posture significantly increases pressure on the neck and, crucially, pushes the soft tissues. and fat under the chin forward, creating the illusion of a more prominent double chin. It was as if his head was constantly trying to escape his body, pulling everything with it. He noticed how often he adopted this posture, even when reading or looking at his phone. It was a habit he'd never connected to his jawline before. And finally, the third factor, weak supraoid muscles, These are the small, often overlooked muscles located just above the hyoid bone in your neck, responsible for elevating the hyoid bone, depressing the jaw, and keeping the submental area firm. When these muscles are weak, they fail to provide adequate support, allowing the soft tissues under the chin to sag, contributing to that blurred jawline. Alex had never even heard of the supraoid muscles, let alone considered their strength. The article didn't just diagnose the problem. It offered solutions rooted in the same scientific understanding. And unlike the quick fixes he'd tried, these solutions felt empowering because they targeted the root causes. The first exercise it introduced was deceptively simple, yet incredibly powerful. The chin tuck This wasn't about stretching or straining, but about posture. Alex learned to sit or stand tall, gently pulling his chin straight back as if trying to make a double chin, but without looking down. The goal was to align his ears directly over his shoulders, elongating the back of his neck. He tried it then and there, feeling an immediate, subtle stretch. The article promised that consistent chin tucks could improve forward head posture, potentially reducing the appearance of a double chin by up to 50% in just 4 to 6 weeks, even without any weight loss. This was huge, a visible improvement, achievable in weeks, simply by correcting a lifelong postural habit. Then came another targeted exercise, the chin tuck against resistance, This was designed specifically to strengthen those weak supraoid muscles. Alex read about placing a small, soft ball or a rolled towel under his chin, then gently pressing his chin down into it, holding the contraction for a few seconds before relaxing. This resistance was key, providing the necessary load to build strength in those crucial supporting muscles. The recommendation was to perform this exercise 5 days a week, for 6 weeks to see firming of the submental area and a more defined jawline. Alex felt a surge of hope. This wasn't guesswork. It was a clear plan, backed by science, targeting specific muscles. He closed the article, his mind buzzing. The frustration hadn't vanished entirely, but it was replaced by a sense of clarity and purpose. He finally understood why his previous efforts had failed and, more importantly, what he needed to do. This wasn't just about aesthetics. It was about understanding his own body, taking control, and building healthier habits. He knew this was just the beginning of his journey, a crucial first step on a path to not just a more defined jawline, but a more confident, empowered Alex. But he also knew there was more to learn, more pieces to this puzzle. What about those stubborn areas of puffiness? And what about actual fat? He was ready for the next chapter of understanding. Alex closed the article, his mind buzzing, ready for the next chapter of understanding. And that next chapter unfolded with even more clarity, revealing the subtle yet significant factors that contributed to facial aesthetics, factors beyond just muscle strength and posture. He was ready to learn more about those stubborn areas of puffiness and the even harder truth about actual fat. He delved into the topic of facial puffiness, a common complaint often mistaken for stubborn fat. The science was clear. Water retention played a huge role. He learned about sodium, the hidden culprit in so many processed foods, a silent contributor to that bloated, undefined look. The recommendation was stark: reduce sodium intake below 2,000 milligrams per day. Alex thought about his daily habits, the occasional takeout, the seemingly innocent canned soups, the salty snacks he mindlessly grazed on. He hadn't realized how much sodium he was consuming, how much of it was contributing to his facial puffiness. This wasn't about deprivation, but awareness. He started reading labels, opting for fresh ingredients, and seasoning his food with herbs and spices instead of relying solely on salt. It was a subtle shift, but one that promised profound results. Then came alcohol. Alex enjoyed a glass of wine or a beer occasionally, a way to unwind after a long week. But the article laid out its impact starkly. Alcohol causes dehydration, inflammation, and significant water retention, especially in the delicate tissues of the face. It wasn't about abstinence for him, but moderation. He decided to cut back, observing how his body, and particularly his face, responded. He noticed a difference almost immediately, a subtle reduction in morning puffiness that spurred him on. Finally, a technique that sounded almost as simple, yet scientifically sound: lymphatic drainage massage. This gentle, rhythmic massage helps drain the fluid that often accumulates under the chin and around the jawline. He watched a few instructional videos, learning the soft, upward strokes designed to encourage lymph flow. It wasn't a fat-burning solution, but a powerful tool to reduce puffiness and reveal the underlying structure. He incorporated it into his morning routine, a soothing ritual that felt like a gentle act of self-care, a conscious effort to support his body's natural processes. As he absorbed these new insights, Alex braced himself for what the article called the hard truth. He knew deep down that if there was actual, significant excess fat under his chin, no amount of exercises, posture correction, or lymphatic massage would truly eliminate it. The science confirmed his intuition. The only way to get rid of actual excess fat under the chin was through overall body fat reduction. This wasn't a magic bullet, but a fundamental principle of human physiology. His face, like the rest of his body, stored fat. To see changes there, he needed to create a caloric deficit, leading to systemic fat loss. The numbers were precise, almost daunting. He would need to lose approximately 3.5 to 4 kilograms to start seeing noticeable changes in his face. For a truly defined jawline, the goal was even higher, to 6.3 to 8.2 kilograms. For men, the article specified a target body fat percentage for a truly defined jawline, typically between 10 to 15%, though genetics played a role in how readily that definition appeared. Alex, looking at his current physique, knew this meant a committed, disciplined approach to his diet and exercise regime. This wasn't just about his neck anymore. It was about a holistic transformation. This wasn't a quick fix. It was a lifestyle overhaul, a journey towards a healthier, more vibrant self. Armed with this comprehensive understanding, Alex didn't just feel overwhelmed. He felt profoundly empowered. The scattered pieces of the puzzle had finally clicked into place. He had a clear, multifaceted strategy backed by scientific principles. For the first time in his life, he started with the chin tucks, diligently practicing them throughout the day at his desk. While waiting for coffee, even during short walks, he felt the subtle engagement in his neck, the gentle lengthening of his spine, and the gradual improvement in his posture. It became a constant, mindful adjustment, retraining years of habit. The chin tucks against resistance became a dedicated part of his evening routine. He used a soft tennis ball, pressing his chin into it with controlled force, holding for 10 seconds, then releasing. He felt the suprahyoid muscles working, a sensation of targeted strength building that was entirely new, a tangible sign of progress. His diet underwent a quiet revolution. He wasn't counting every calorie with obsessive precision, but he became mindful. He swapped processed snacks for fruits and vegetables, drank more water, and cooked more meals at home, controlling his sodium intake. Alcohol became an occasional indulgence, enjoyed consciously rather than mindlessly. The lymphatic drainage massage became a soothing bookend to his day, a gentle reminder of his commitment to self-care. It wasn't just about the physical benefit, it was about the mental space it created, a moment of presence and intention, a quiet affirmation of his journey. Weeks turned into months. The changes weren't dramatic overnight, but they were undeniable. First, he noticed the puffiness around his jawline seemed to recede, a subtle sharpening that hinted at what lay beneath. Then, his posture began to feel more natural, his head held higher, his shoulders relaxed. The forward slump that had been a lifelong companion began to disappear. And as he consistently pursued overall body fat reduction, the scales started to shift. The first 3.5 kilograms melted away, and he caught a glimpse of a different face in the mirror. Less rounded, more defined. When he hit the 6 kilogram mark, the change was striking. His jawline, once a soft curve, now had a distinct angle, a clear line that hadn't been visible in years. But the most profound transformation wasn't just physical. It was internal. Alex felt a newfound sense of control, a deep understanding of his own body and how it worked. He had learned that true change wasn't about chasing fleeting trends or magical solutions. It was about knowledge, consistency, and a willingness to confront uncomfortable truths. It was about integrating science-backed strategies into his daily life, patiently and persistently. He realized that the double chin, once a source of insecurity, had become a catalyst for a much larger journey of self-improvement. It had forced him to look deeper, to question assumptions, and to embrace a holistic approach to his well-being. Alex now carried himself with a quiet confidence. His jawline was defined, yes, but more importantly, his mind was clear, his habits were healthier, and his spirit was uplifted. He understood that the path to a more defined jawline, or any personal goal, wasn't paved with shortcuts, but with understanding, effort, and belief in the process. He had learned that every body is a complex, incredible machine, and with the right knowledge and consistent effort, we all have the power to sculpt not just our physical form, but our entire sense of self. His story wasn't just about a jawline, it was a testament to the power of informed action, the beauty of patience, and the triumph of self-empowerment. It was a reminder that when we truly understand the science and commit to the journey, we unlock the potential for truly lasting, transformative change. And that, he realized, was the most inspiring discovery of all.